Looking at me so funny for?
Sorry, Santa. I had to go.
Oh, is that you? I thought it was me.
We got a job, Willie. I'm talking millions this time. I got an associate who's got this thing all lined up.
What's it been, 15 years?
Mom.
Well, you still hit like your daddy.
What, you don't trust your mother?
Yeah, I trust her about as far as I can throw you.
Damn it!
And I trust you about as far as I can throw her.
Always love going to the movies, but this time of the year, it's the best. Our next guest has been gracing the big screen for years. You've seen him in countless films. Let me name a couple. Armageddon, Monsters Ball. How about Friday Night Lights, just to name a few. Award-winning actor, writer, director. And now he's helping us get in the holiday spirit with Bad Santa 2. Billy Bob Thornton in the house. It's premiering next Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here.
Good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Right. How excited are you about this movie, man?
Very excited, actually. You know, most sequels come out like the next year or two, maybe. And this is 13 years. And I think in a lot of ways that helps us because, you know, it makes it seem like another movie rather than just capitalizing on the success of one right away. And also the kid's 21 now.
Yeah.
You know,
All grown up.
same kid. And he was 8 years old when we did the first one. He's actually 23, but he plays 21 in the movie. And when we first met with the director for this one, I'd seen the kid a couple of times over the years. And we sat down for lunch, and I could see a little chest hair coming up over his collar, and it just creeped me out.
Bad Santa,
You know?
by the way, for I guess it's been a long time already. It's one of the best movies, I think, in a couple of decades. That was such a great movie. A dark comedy that was also like a tear-jerker by the end. If whoever hasn't seen it should see that, I think, before they go out and see this. They got to go back and rent that or whatever they do on demand video now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Billy Bob, I know you're a big Colts fan. Max is a huge fan of Andrew Luck. And I know you said last year that you thought he could be the best quarterback in the NFL. You still have that faith with the team struggling a little this year?
It's hard being a Colt fan this year. I mean, unless you're involved in something like in movies, you know, it's like a lot of times they'll say about an actor, it's like, well, why did he do those two bad movies after he just did this great one? They don't realize that those movies were made before the great one, you know. So, I mean, I guess you could say Andrew Luck, you know, is going downhill a little bit, but then you got to look at the people around him, you know. I mean, he's got to have some people keep those linemen off of
Well,
him.
that's where I was going. That's where I was going. Do you find yourself, Billy Bob? You don't mind me calling you Billy Bob.
Please do.
I always want to say that. Billy Bob, do you find yourself looking at the Colts and saying, and there's say, the owner, a Grigson, who for some reason can't get this man an offensive line to save his life, okay? I mean, do you find yourself nitpicking like, that guy needs to go, or that guy needs to go, or are you one of those kind of fans like, let's just all come together and get it done? What kind of fan are you?
I'm the kind who, I'll put it to you this way. As you know, I'm a big St. Louis Cardinal baseball fan.
Right.
And sometimes I can't even watch the other team bat. I'm so mad. I'm one of those fans.
Wow.
In other words, if we're down 2-0 in the third inning, I'm only watching when the Cardinals are at the plate because I don't want to see this team score another run against them. And I cuss the TV. I'm one of those. So, yeah, I tell the owner what to do through the TV screen all the time. Absolutely.
Of course, in baseball, like when the other team is up, nothing good can happen for your team.
Absolutely.
In football, if the Colts had a real defense, maybe you could take the ball away. You got a pick six or something like that, but you haven't had a lot of reason to root for that this year either.
Not really. You know, I've been to one Super Bowl in my lifetime. When the Colts played the Bears in Miami.
It was raining. I was there.
Raining.
How is the weather with you?
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, it was warm and raining. And we were on a press tour for the Astronaut Farmer, and we got there, and we didn't realize we had a couple of days off in Miami. And when I realized we're in town when my team is playing, and of course Peyton was still on the team then. And so my publicist got us tickets. We were in the end zone. First play of the game, Hester runs the ball back, and in my mind, you know, your perception of it, Hester's looking me right in the eye. Right. And he runs that ball back for a touchdown on the first play of the game, and I'm sitting in the end zone in the rain. I'm like, this is not going to be good.
Right.
Turns out John Travolta was at the game, and he was sitting up in a box. And here I am in the end zone.
Right.
And got him on the phone. I found out he was there. It's like, hey, man, where are you? You know. He said, I'm at the Super Bowl. Wow, me too. And ended up in the box, watched the rest of the game, won the game.
That move right there.
Oh, it was something else. But, yeah. But Andrew Luck, yeah, that kid's a good quarterback. But they do need to get some people. He needs a fence, you know.
Right. He's a great. I thought he was going to be the MVP this year.
Yes,
You like
did.
him more
By
than
the way,
Peyton
that ship has not yet sailed.
It has sailed.
No, it hasn't.
It has sailed.
No, it hasn't. They can win that division. That's a weak division. If they win the division, he throws for 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns.
MVP.
Brady has only played 12 games. Ryan comes back down to earth.
See why I always tell him
He thinks he
should be
could win
drug
the
tested.
MVP.
See why I always tell him? See why I always tell him that?
Well, I think for me, the way I
Come on,
look
Billy
at
Bob.
stuff like
This is your
that,
guy.
I would agree with you in the division, but then the way I look at things is, like right now in college football, you can look at those polls and Clemson and Michigan, Washington all lose. They're still all in the top 4.
Yep.
So, but I look at it like this. Nobody wants to play USC right now.
I got you.
Got it. Guys, that's about all the time we have for today. But Billy Bob, thank you for making a funny comedy for us that we can check out on Wednesday.
I'm going to see
we
it.
all need a good laugh
Can't
right
get
now.
for anything nowadays. I'll go see that.
Gotta go see it.
So good to see you. More First Take tomorrow. Have a great day. Now, folks, the First Take Your Take contest. So send in a 1-minute video to firsttakeyourtake.com. We're less than a week away. 2 winners will come to Bristol to debate these 2. Here's a few of our latest submissions.
All right, let's talk this Tony Romo press conference. First of all, why does Dak Prescott need your vote of approval? Why does he need you to come on a press conference to say you approve something that everybody already knew anyway? That he was more than deserving to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
I think that Tony Romo has that heart to heart that he knows that the Tony Romo era in Dallas is over. And to just know that the work you put over a decade is done. And that's a hard realization.
Sure, he could go to the Jets, where Max can hate on him as a Giants fan, and Stephen A., I know you only want him to go to the Broncos because you wouldn't want to wish the putrid ineptitude of the New York Jets onto Tony Romo because, by golly, he's your friend.
The last one lost major points by using the words "by golly."
But
I'm not
he
interested
did
in
the
that.
"your friend," which is your line. I kind of like that.
I'm not interested. You got to have a little bit more flavor than "goodbye, golly."
So, and that's the thing.
I mean, you got to be a bad Santa kind of dude. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
You got to be
I
that
see
kind of
what you
dude. You
did
can't
there.
just "by golly."
Yeah.
That doesn't work for
You
me.
gotta have a little
This is
edge.
the thing. This is the thing. People think, okay, I got to have flavor and I got to have content. You can't split the difference. You can't be
You gotta
a
have
B
both.
content.
You gotta have
and B
both.
flavor.
What about
You
the
gotta have
first
both.
guy?
I want to see either a flavor,
I mean,
a
listen,
content, or both.
listen, damn it. We played it, and there's no disrespect to them because they gave valiant effort and they deserve respect. But they are coming on before Billy Bob Thornton sits here.
Yeah.
I mean, how the hell are you going to have less flavor than Bad Santa? I mean, that's
Bad Santa, one of the great movies
You
of
can't
the
have
last
that.
Billy Bob
couple
Thornton's
decades.
in another league.
That's right.
You
Exactly.
can't
He's
compare.
there in another league,
what
but you
guys
know
need
you're
to do?
preceding him. Do something.
Your next gig, American Idol. Be the next Simon Cowell.
You know what?
You do
I have
very
been
well.
told that on many occasions. I have.
All right.
Just so you know.
We move on now. Get you caught up on the latest in college football. So, Oklahoma head coach Bob Stoops announced Tuesday that star defensive tackle Charles Walker will leave the program to prepare for next year's NFL draft. Now, Walker, who's expected to be a high draft pick, hasn't played since he suffered a concussion early October. The decision did not sit well with Sooners defensive coordinator Mike Stoops. Here's the quote: "Quitting on your teammates is hard to take. You can't have guys coming and going and have a group of players committed to what they're doing day in and day out enters that our team if they're not committed to the team." Max, do you have a bigger problem with Walker's decision or Stoops here?
No problem with Walker's decision. Walker made the right decision. Is this a real question? Stoops, of course. Look, I was just talking to a friend of mine who lives in England now, actually, had his job relocated him, and was telling me that in London, if you try to explain college football, American college football to people, they can't wrap their heads around it. So wait, in other words, it's professional. No, it's not professional. But they pack stadiums? Yes. Are the people paying to get into the stadiums? Yes. and it's on commercial television, yes. And they sell products and everything, yes. But so it's professional. No, it's amateur because they're in college. Well, why do they have to go to college to play minor league football? Right. It's basically minor league football. You're forced. The system is set up in a way that you're essentially forced to play minor league football for free to enrich everyone but yourself. What about a college education? It's really not up to the student athlete. It's not up to the football player. They're by and large coerced. So to uphold some coerced social contract, the honor of that, Bob Stoops, who is not the head coach but makes $950,000 a year to coach that stuff, is to be the defensive coordinator, is telling one of his players on the defense, sorry, Mike Stoops, Bob Stoops, the head coach, $5.5 million for the head coach. The D coordinator, his brother, Mike Stoops, $950,000. Not the head coach, the D coordinator. And one of his defensive players, who has maybe a future in professional football, whose team is not going to go to a bowl game, and who has a concussion and wants to protect himself and his professional future forever and ever, maybe set up his life, is making the only real choice to make and is criticized by the guy making almost $1 million a year to coach the amateur players who are actually putting in the real hard work. It's outrageous.
I disagree with you, and I want to make sure that you understand why. Folks out there, maybe not you, you'll never get it. But in case of Walker, I disagree with him, and here's why. You didn't quit before the season. You quit during the season. You didn't decide that you wanted to go pro and quit in the off season. You're in the throes of a season where you're now 8-2, even though he's missed the last couple of games, and then you decide that you're going to leave the team. I don't believe it was right for Stoops to say what he said. First of all, leave that to the head coach. That ain't your job as a defensive coordinator to sit up there and speak out so adamantly against a kid. You could be a bit more sensitive. So I don't agree with how outspoken Stoops was, nor do I believe that he had the right to speak on it when your brother is the head coach. He's the head of that program. He is the one that Bob Stoops. I want to hear Bob Stoops. I don't want to hear from his brother. Okay, you're a defensive coordinator. Stay in your place. Having said all of that,
defensive player
Charles Walker, it doesn't matter.
Maybe he's using him as his mouthpiece.
You know, well, he shouldn't.
Know.
He shouldn't. The head coach should speak on this. But in the end, what it comes down to is that you knew the risk coming into the career that you chose. You knew the risk coming into the season, and to quit in the middle of all of this, to me, is not good.
But
hold on, now
I'll
let you speak, Max. I'll let you speak, Max. Well, if you got medical concerns, what you going to NFL for? Because those medical concerns.
You get paid.
Look, let me tell you what's going to happen now. If I'm an NFL team, I don't want them. You want me to tell you why I don't want them? Because you're that concerned. You're clearly coming here just so you could get paid. After you cut the check, your signing bonus, you might get another concussion week 1, and then you quit then. I don't know about that. So my point to you is that, again, you either a player or you not. I understand health concerns. I understand the concussion issues. I understand how serious it is. But if it's serious enough, then you shouldn't be playing.
It's serious enough to jeopardize money he has not yet made.
And I'm saying,
by the way, I said bowl game. I meant playoff.
And I'm telling you, if I'm an NFL team, I would be highly reluctant to give you the money because since you're so concerned about it now.
Because you haven't upheld the hypocrisy of the syndicate between college football and the NFL.
No, that's not why. Because if you're that concerned and that open about it, why should I take a risk on you when it's so easy for you to quit? There's a whole bunch of players on the collegiate level that get concussions, but they wouldn't dare publicize, I'm going to quit college right now in the middle of the season.
You know what I would think if I was an NFL?
Maybe he's got a risk. He doesn't want to risk himself for his livelihood. Maybe he's got family to take care of.
Hold on.
Come on.
He's like a smart young man to me.
I'm not condemning the man's character. I'm talking about what comes with the game. There are risks that come with it.
We don't know his personal situation.
Well, then again, if you're an NFL team, I'm reluctant to take you then.
But you are paying him.
But because you're bringing those risks, those concerns to the I need you out there gung-ho ready to ball.
Right.
And I'm worried about you.
Football teams do ask players to make irrational decisions all the time. Sacrifice your health and your future health for the sake of a team. But in this case, you ain't getting paid. In the NFL, you're getting paid. So going in, you're making that exchange.
Quit in the middle of the season.
All right, coming up next, we have a guy that always brings it. A smooth cat, the star of Bad Santa 2, Billy Bob Thornton in the house. Yes, sir. Can't wait to talk to him. Stay tuned. Hello.
How's it going?
Good to see you, Stephen. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Do it now and don't wait for later. No, lend a hand to your brother, man.